Jai Hind everyone, myself A.K. Dubey, Assistant Professor and Department of Mechanical Engineering, Ajay Kumar Garg Engineering College, Ghaziabad. Here in this video I am going to discuss a problem based on the compound cylinder, in which I will use the Lehm's relation and I will tell you how the different boundary conditions are applied to solve this problem, and finally how the hoop stresses are calculated at different radius of the compound cylinder, and how the hoop stress variation will be plotted. The problem is a compound tube is composed of a tube 250 mm internal dia and 25 mm thick, shrunk on a tube of 250 mm external dia and 25 mm thick. The radial pressure at the junction is 8 Newton per mm square. The compound tube is subjected to an internal fluid pressure of 84.5 Newton per mm square. Find the variation of hoop stress over the wall of compound tube. So here few informations are given regarding the question, and it is very clear from the question that this is the case of compound cylinder in which one cylinder is shrunk over the another cylinder. Okay, so if I draw the diagram of this, so here I will write solution of the problem. See, this is the inner tube, this is the outer tube, inner tube and outer tube. This is the center, and if diameters are given, then we can find the radius. Here a compound tube is composed of a tube 250 mm internal dia and 25 mm thick, shrunk on a tube of 250 mm external dia and 25 mm thick. Means this dimension dia is of the outer tube outer cylinder, and this dia is of the inner. Okay, so here this 250 mm is the external dia of the inner tube, and I can get the thickness because it has been given the thickness of the two, whether outer tube inner tube is same. So I will say this is the thickness. So this is the R2 inner radius, this is R3 junction radius, and this is the R1 outer radius of the outer tube. So this is outer tube, this is inner tube, okay. So diameters are given, we can find the radius, then thickness is also given. So here I can find the R2, I can find the R3, and I can find the R1. Now thickness is 25 mm in the each case. Then outer radius R1 equal to 125 plus 25 means 150 mm, because internal dia of the outer tube is given, we can find the internal radius of the outer tube, which is nothing but the junction radius. If I add the thickness, I can get the outer radius, this R1, and that is 150 mm. Now for the inner tube, external dia is given, means external radius given, and that external radius is nothing but the junction radius, okay, and it has been given, and that is 125. If I subtract 25 mm, I can get the inner radius of the inner tube. So this inner radius of the inner tube, that is R2 equal to 100 mm, R3 equal to 125 mm. This much information is given. So first of all, I will calculate the stress due to the shrinking, means if I shrink one cylinder over the other, या outer cylinder over the inner cylinder, so what is the hoop stress developed due to this shrinking. So separately I will consider outer cylinder, then I will consider the inner cylinder. After calculating the stresses, या hoop stresses, then I will go for the calculation of stresses due to the internal fluid pressure, and then we will take the algebraic sum of all the stresses at different radius. Okay. Now Lehm's equation, Lehm's relation for this case, here Px equal to, first of all I will consider the outer tube, outer cylinder, and will apply the Lehm's equation for that. So case case 1, first consideration of outer cylinder. So first of all I will consider the outer cylinder and will use the Lehm's equation for this outer cylinder, and will calculate hoop stresses due to shrinking. So from Lehm's equation, from Lehm's relation, Px equal to B1 by x square, where x is any radius, minus A1. So for outer cylinder I will take constants A1 and B1, capital A1 and capital B1, and sigma x equal to B1 by x square plus A1. There are two relations. Now from the boundary condition, at x equal to 100 mm, means when no fluid is there inside the cylinder, then at x equal to 100 mm, Px is going to be 0. I will put this here, 0 value of Px equal to B1 upon 100 square. In the place of x I will put 100 square minus A1. This is equation 1. And at x equal to 125, x equal to 125 mm, Px is nothing but Pj, and this is 8 Newton per mm per mm square, 8 Newton per mm square. it has been given in the problem. I'll put 8 Newton per mm square in the place of Px. So 8 equal to B1 upon 125 square minus A1. This is equation second. If I see the equation first and equation second, these two equations, I can get the value of A1 and B1. So on solving equation 1 and 2, on solving equation 1 and second, A1 equal to, this can be calculated, is 18.18 and B1 equal to 409090, the value of A1 and B1. Okay. Once we are known about the value of A1 and B1, I can find the hoop stress at radius 100, hoop stress at radius 125 at the junction means, and hoop stress at the outer radius of the outer cylinder, because here I have considered the outer cylinder. Then we will calculate the hoop stress at the junction and hoop stress at the outer radius for the outer cylinder. Now hoop stress for outer cylinder. Sigma at 125 radius, 125 means at the junction, and sigma at 150 mm radius means at outer surface of the outer cylinder. So this is B1 by 125 square plus A1 equal to value of B1 as 409090 by 125 square plus value of A1 as 18.18. After calculating, this value comes out as 44.36 Newton per mm square, and this is tensile in nature. As I already told you, when outer tube is shrunk over the inner tube, so because of that shrinking the one tube over the other, because of the radial pressure developed at the junction of the two cylinder, outer tube is in tension and inner tube is in compression. Means in the outer tube a tensile hoop stress will induce at the junction and at the outer radius, and for the inner tube a compressive hoop stress will induce. So if I calculate the value at the junction at the radius 125 mm, so this comes out as 44.36 Newton per mm square, and this is tensile in nature, means this is positive hoop stress for the outer tube at the junction. Now for the outer tube at the outer radius means at 150 mm, this is B1 by 150 square plus A2, sorry A1, this B1 upon 150 square plus A1. So putting the value of B1 A1 and after solving, so this is 409090 by 150 square plus 18.18, and this comes out as 36.36 Newton per mm square, and this is again tensile. But one thing I am observing, as I am moving from junction radius to the outer radius, hoop stress is decreasing, and it will decrease parabolically. Now for the inner tube, case second, for inner tube, so I have we have divided this in the part of case 1 and case 2. Okay, so for case second is what? For inner tube, means I will analyze the hoop stress for the inner tube because of shrinking the one tube over the other. Now Lam's relation for this, again Px equal to B2 by x square minus A2, and sigma x equal to B2 upon x square plus A2. Okay. So for outer tube I have taken constants capital A1, capital B1, and for inner tube I will take constants A2, capital A2 and capital B2. So if I put the boundary condition for this, so I can get the constants A2 and B2. So from boundary condition at x equal to 100 mm, means at the inner radius of the inner tube, Px equal to 0. Why this 0? Because there is no fluid inside it. So here we are considering the case if no fluid is there inside the cylinder. We have just shrunk one tube over the other. So this Px is going to be 0, and at x equal to 125 mm means at the junction Px is given, that is 8 Newton per mm square. So if I will use this condition, so Px, which is 0 equal to B2 by 100 square minus A2. This is equation third, and at x equal to 125 mm, Px is 8 Newton per mm square, which is the junction pressure, and this is 8 equal to B2 by 125 minus A2, and this is equation 4th. So from equation 3rd and 4th, we can get A2 and B2. So A2 comes out as minus 22.22 and B2 comes out as minus 222,222. This is the value of A2 and B2. So once we are known about A2 and B2, we can find the hoop stress at the junction and hoop stress at the inner radius of the inner tube. Now hoop stress at the radius R equal to 125 mm. Okay, 125 mm, and this is nothing but the junction radius equal to R3. So sigma at 125 sigma at 125 equal to B2 by 125 square plus A2. Okay, so putting the value of B2 as minus 22222 by 125 square and this minus 22.22, the value of A2. On solving, this comes out as minus 36.44 Newton per mm square. Okay, so this is the value of hoop stress at the junction for the inner tube, and this is compressive in nature. C for compressive. Similarly, I can get hoop stress at the inner radius of the inner tube, means sigma at 100, and that is value of B2 as minus 222222 by 100 square minus, because the value of A2 is negative, 22.22, and this comes out as minus 44.44 Newton per mm square, and again this is compressive. So from the values calculated for inner tube and outer tube, we can very easily interpret that the hoop stress for the inner tube is compressive in nature and hoop stress for the outer tube is tensile in nature at different radius. Now I will calculate the hoop stress developed due to fluid pressure. Now this compound cylinder has been subjected to fluid pressure, and pressure of the fluid is given, and that is 84.5 Newton per mm square. So because of this fluid pressure, what are the hoop stresses developed at inner radius, at the junction, and at the outer radius? So in this case, when we apply some fluid, we fill the compound cylinder with the fluid, then that compound cylinder is subjected to a single cylinder, and at different radius we can find the hoop stress. So first of all, we will calculate the constants A and B in that case using the boundary condition, and then we will calculate the hoop stress at different radius, and then we will calculate the net resulting hoop stress at different radius. Now stresses due to internal fluid pressure. Stresses due to internal fluid pressure. Okay. So for this condition, let again the Lehm's relation be Px equal to B by x square minus A, and sigma x equal to B by x square plus A. So here I will use the constant A and B in capital, not A1 B1, not A2 B2. So here A and B. Now this constants A and B can be calculated. It has been given at x equal to 100 mm, means when cylinder is subjected to fluid pressure. So this fluid pressure will act at the inner radius, means at x equal to 100 mm. This Px equal to 84.5 Newton per mm square. Okay, then 84.5 equal to b by 100 square minus a, and this is equation 5th. Now at x equal to 150 mm, because we are considering a single cylinder, so I will consider internal radius and outermost radius, and at outermost radius pressure is 0. This Px is going to be 0. If this Px is 0, then 0 equal to b by 150 square minus a, and that is equation 6th. So from equation 5th and 6th we can find the constants a and b. So on solving, I will write here, on solving equation 5th and 6th, equation 5th and 6th, a equal to 67.6 and b equal to 152 100. So b is 152 100. This is the value of a and b. Once we are known about a and b, we can find the hoop stress at 100 mm radius, at junction radius, and at outer radius. Now hoop stress sigma at 100 equal to b by 100 square plus a. This is b. Okay, and we know the value of b as 152 100 by 100 square plus 67.6, and this comes out as 219.7 Newton per mm square, and this is tensile because value is positive. Similarly, hoop stress at junction radius 125, and that is b upon 125 square, and the value of b is 152. So this is 152 this is 152 by 125 square plus 67.6, and this is 164.4494. Again tensile. Now sigma hoop stress at 150 radius 152.1000 upon 150 square plus 67.6, and this comes out as 135.2 Newton per mm square, and again this is tensile. So these are the hoop stresses because of internal fluid pressure at radius 100 mm, at radius 125 mm, and at radius 150 mm. Okay, then I will calculate the resulting stress at radius 100 mm, at radius 125 or at radius 150, okay, for inner and outer tube. So considering the combined effect, so for outer tube, outer tube net hoop stress at junction radius and at outer radius. At sigma 125 and at sigma 150. So there are two radius. So because of shrinking at junction for outer radius, hoop stress is 44.36 plus because of fluid pressure at junction for outer radius, at the junction hoop stress is 164.94. Okay, so on adding, this comes out as 209.3 Newton per square. And at 150 radius, so because of shrinking at outer radius, hoop stress is 36.36 plus because of internal fluid pressure at radius 150, hoop stress is 135.2 and this comes out as 171.56 Newton per mm square, and this is tensile. So we can observe as we are moving from junction to the outer radius, hoop stress is decreasing and it is decreasing parabolically. For inner tube, sigma at 100 and this sigma at 100 is because of shrinking the one tube over the another, this is negative and minus 44.44 Newton per mm square, and because of fluid pressure it is 219.7. After simplifying, 175.26 Newton per mm square. Now this is again tensile because this is bigger and this is smaller, the resulting is tensile. Now sigma at 125 mm radius, one because of shrinking and one because of fluid pressure. So because of shrinking, minus 36.44, this is negative, plus 164.94 and this comes out as 128.5 Newton per mm square. Again this is tensile. So these are the hoop stresses considering both the shrinking effect and internal fluid pressure. And one thing is very clear from these results, then hoop stress is 175.26 Newton per mm square at the inner radius for the inner tube. At the junction radius of the inner tube, it is 128.5 Newton per mm square. At the junction for the outer tube, it is 209.3, and at the outer radius for the outer tube, it is 171.56. So I can plot this variation as well because values are known to us. We can plot, and this variation is parabolic. So I am going to plot these variations. Say and this. So this is the inner radius, this is the junction radius, and this is the outer radius. So this is R1, this is R3, and this is R2. If this is the center, okay, so I observe that for the inner tube, at the inner radius, hoop stress is 175. I can plot. Above this I will take positive value and below this negative. So this is say this is 175.26. Then as I move from inner to junction, it is decreasing, and this value is 128.5, means it is decreasing, and this value is 128.5. and for the outer tube at the junction it is 209, means for the outer tube at the junction this value is increasing, the value is greater than this value. So this is 209.3, and as we are moving it is decreasing. At outer radius it is decreasing, and value at outer radius is less than this value, and it is 171.56, this value 171.56. So this is how the resulting hoop stress varies. So this is all about the numerical problem.